In the ancient lands of Mesopotamia, the shift from rulers considered divine to those who were merely human stands out as one of the most captivating enigmas captured in historical records, often defying traditional views on the dawn of human societies. Around 2100 BC, the Sumerian king list was assembled, though it relied on far older legends, and it sharply divides leadership into two separate phases that merit thorough scrutiny. Within its pre-flood portion, this extraordinary artifact lists monarchs whose periods in power extended over thousands of years, instead of shorter spans typical for mortals. For instance, Alulim from Eridu is said to have held sway for 28,800 years, with Alaljar succeeding him for an even longer 36,000 years. Accompanying these are details of 7 additional leaders whose total time in command adds up to 241,200 years prior to a massive deluge that overwhelmed the region. Such exact figures imply more than just fanciful tales from myth. They point toward a deliberate method of tracking time or events that modern scholars have yet to fully decipher, perhaps rooted in a now obscure system of documentation. Excavations at Eridu, revered in Sumerian lore as the inaugural urban center for humankind, uncover building methods and city layouts that seem to materialize in a complete state rather than evolving step by step over time. At the site's contemporary location, known as Tel Abu Shahrain, the deepest strata display signs of intricate water diversion networks, temple bases laid out with remarkable accuracy, and skills in working metals that lack obvious earlier stages of refinement. Dedicated to the deity Enki, the religious compound there incorporates design elements reflecting expertise in sound manipulation, featuring spaces crafted to boost certain sound waves and generate echoing effects that today's experts in acoustics would deem quite advanced. Moreover, the layering of deposits at this location has long baffled specialists, presenting irregularities that continue to spark debate. One particular level, Layer 18, which traces back to about 5,400 BC, holds pottery shards showcasing glazing methods that vanished from historical traces for more than 1,000 years afterward. Even more fascinating, close examination under microscopes of these artifacts detects hints of uncommon, rare earth elements absent from the local soils of Mesopotamia, which could indicate either trade routes far older than those currently recognized or acquisition of substances via mysterious channels. Similarly, Uruk emerges as a vital location for grasping this era of change, offering further proof of rapid leaps in technology. Its Anu ziggurat, built on enormous bases of limestone, demanded engineering prowess to transport and set heavy stones precisely, each weighing tons. The binding agent employed in these builds includes compounds that grant outstanding longevity, allowing portions to endure almost 6,000 years amid severe arid environments. Tests on the chemistry uncover organic polymers that strengthen adhesion, though their origins and creation processes stay elusive. Uruk's White Temple embodies building concepts that only gained widespread use in subsequent eras. Aligned with heavenly bodies to an astonishing degree, it monitors not just the paths of the sun and moon, but also the movements of particular constellations. Furthermore, the dimensions adhere to proportional formulas echoed in holy structures of later Greek and Egyptian cultures, hinting at a shared heritage of wisdom crossing vast times and societies. Clay inscriptions from the initial dynastic times offer in-depth narratives about the Anunnaki's part in laying the groundwork for Mesopotamian society. The Eridu Genesis outlines how these entities instructed people in designing cities, specifying ideal arrangements for living areas, trade zones, and holy districts. Such writings delve into specifics on building water systems, like the best slopes for digging ditches, ways to avoid sediment buildup, and approaches to sustain steady water during shifts in seasons. Although stemming from Egyptian traditions, the teachings of Ptahhotep echo comparable tales of godly figures setting up akin principles for settlements by the Nile. These parallels across cultures go deeper than broad ideas, encompassing exact guidelines for building supplies, design ratios, and organizational setups. This uniformity in particulars among distant societies implies either broad exchanges between groups or a common reservoir of expertise. From Ashurbanipal's collection, preserved Akkadian writings recount the Anunnaki's establishment of ruling systems. They detail managerial setups featuring distinct official positions, rules of law, and ways to collect dues that exhibit impressive complexity. Preceding Hammurabi's renowned set of laws by hundreds of years, the laws of Eshnunna embed principles showing grasp of intricate legal ideas, such as scaled penalties, assessing proof based on context, and protections for those facing charges. Beyond basic regulations, the expertise in these ancient rules touches on nuanced views of group interactions, financial motivations, and mental aspects influencing conduct. Today's studies of these old statutes uncover perspectives on managing crowds, rewarding economic behaviors, and settling disputes that resonate with current fields in social studies. Writings on farming in Mesopotamia explain water control strategies that boosted harvests while guarding against salt accumulation in earth, an issue that eventually weakened various societies nearby. These approaches encompassed sequences for alternating crops, ways to improve soil quality, and plans for handling water that reflect deep insight into chemical processes in agriculture and soil properties. The detail in these directives points to knowledge built from prolonged trials and watchful monitoring across long stretches. Comparable levels of farming ingenuity surface in other old societies around the same times. In the Indus Valley, advanced drainage for cities and water handling setups appeared, unmatched until the Romans came along. Old Kingdom Egyptian documents on cultivation mirror Mesopotamian tactics, adjusted for the Nile's unique setting. During China's Warring States era, farming guides outline water management ideas akin to those in Mesopotamia, with exact equations for figuring flow speeds and ideal sizes for channels. Such mathematical accuracy hints at early command of higher math concepts that Chinese scholars formalized only later. Astronomical insights in Mesopotamian documents show comprehension of sky movements going well past what unaided eyes could observe. The Mul-Apin compilation holds lists of stars plotting their locations with care-needing observations over generations. Included are formulas for planet paths, ways to foresee eclipses, and following precession that match the depth of today's star science. Amisaduka's Venus record notes the planet's cycle with timing close to seconds of current figures. Achieving this demanded not only keen watching, but also math for sifting data and spotting trends, suggesting strong tools for calculation. The layout of these records implies they belong to a broader collection monitoring various sky objects at once. In Babylonian math writings, techniques appear like positional numbering, solving equations, and shape rules rediscovered in Europe during the Renaissance. Plimpton, 322, holds sets of Pythagorean numbers figured with great exactness, showing math beyond everyday building or trade uses. These skills pop up suddenly without prior steps, indicating handover of full math frameworks instead of slow invention via experiments. Such advanced methods suggest organized backing for math study and teaching, needing steady, wealthy communities with extra assets for brain work. Metallurgy details in Mesopotamian records cover mixes of metals and melting ways to make substances suited for certain jobs. Bronze blends changed by purpose, with varied tin-copper balances for implements, arms, or ornaments. This shows knowledge of materials, science needing planned tests and accurate measures. Digs at metal shops find oven builds reaching heats once thought beyond ancient reach. Slag studies from there show managed air during melting, using setups to cut or add oxygen for desired reactions. This control level points to deep chemical know-how and heat handling. The sudden rise of these skills in many areas at once questions usual ideas of slow society growth. Organizing such city designs, farming, math, and metalwork calls for management beyond normal early state building. Uniformity across far places suggests wide links or joint knowledge sources beyond typical spread ways. The breakdown of godly human teamwork started with a huge disaster that changed ties between Anunnaki and people. Sumerian writings note a planned choice by god leaders to stop close ties from before the flood, using the deluge as both penalty and fresh start for society. The Ziusudra story, older than Gilgamesh's tale by centuries, gives the fullest view of God's talks before the flood. Enlil, per this, grew upset with growing human numbers and noise disturbing God peace. The account lists gripes about human work, like forging metals making smoke and din, spreading farms changing rivers, and building cities raising far-seen dust. Digs at many spots show a clear culture shift around 2900 to 2800 BC, matching flood story timelines. Woolley's work found an 8-foot pure silt band splitting old from new layers. This empty band had no items, shards, or life traces, hinting full leave during build-up. Like breaks at Kish, Shurupak, Uruk point to huge area event. The Eridu Genesis tells of God Council debate on human end, with steps like real government talks. Enlil pushed for total wipeout, saying humans went beyond plans and risked order. Enki fought this, suggesting save some to keep society, but cut numbers. Debate lasted 7 god meets, each with proof shows and argue rules. Land studies in Mesopotamia flood area find proof of big floods, late 4th millennium BC fitting Sumerian scales. Gulf cores show huge freshwater dumps, laying vast sediment. Sediment makeup shows floods from many rivers at once, hinting dam breaks or planned highland water free, not usual rains. Gilgamesh epic keeps flood details showing deep water engineering known. Utnapishtim says ruin started by breaking water setups, then timed release from earth base and sky. This two-way flood needed exact sync to max harm while blocking normal drain. Current water studies of area rivers show even peak floods lack volume to drown cities long. Gap suggests God help or tech water control beyond old skills. Nippur floodtail fragments gives Yasudra arc specs showing great ship design. Sizes make stable craft for rough seas. Materials build hull for high pressure. Waterproof uses bitumen and plant seals for flex joints under stress. Post-flood site digs show big changes in living and building supporting less God help tales. Pre-flood towns had planned setups with complex systems. After, growth more natural, less unified. Build quality dropped, with rough stone and simple designs versus pre-flood advanced. King List notes this backslide with shorter post-flood reigns. First after Jushur, 1,200 years versus thousands before. Later, decades, not centuries, hinting pullback of life tech or no from leaders. Earth 3 era tablets tell changed God-human talk ways, differing from old direct. After flood, stress fancy rites, priest go-betweens, complex gifts for contact. Before, easy chat, and direct teach no ceremony. And Suma lament tells God leave after flood, gods left temples, stopped direct city guide. Shrine rooms empty. Statues there, but no ritual response. Priests said old, sure divine ways gave odd or no answers. Temple digs from then show builds changed for new god patterns. Old temples had close rooms for near talk. After, barriers, courts, high stages, limited halls show gods kept distance when there. Offer digs show more sacrifices after flood, meaning more cost for god favor than before. Pre-flood offers symbolic like pots, small metal, grain bits. After, fancy jewels, precious metal, big animal kills showing big economy give by groups. Shurupak instructions from pre-flood wise man's dad warn of coming god-human change, give tips for less god help survive, suggest own farm ways, store food for bad, multiple water no central. Detail hints know of planned god pullback, not just general ready. Post-flood star texts show accuracy drop versus old catalogs, calcs. Eclipse, planet, calendar less precise, hint loss of advanced math or tools from God teach. Later, Babylonian star watchers got good by own watch, math new, but took centuries to match old instant accuracy. Medical writings after flood show no loss in health, drug make. Old list surgery, diagnosis, drugs showing deep body, illness, med no. After, more magic spells, right heal, hint loss of advanced med from God. Flood tales spread in Near East give more proof for real big event in Sumerian. Akkadian atrahasis, Hebrew, Hurrian, Hittite keep core despite culture, language diff. Shared parts like God decide, flood how? After relation change suggest common history, not separate myths. Compare far culture floods show like God leave after disaster. Hint Mesopotamia part of worldwide, in late 4th millennium BC. Native American flood lore tells similar god-gone patterns. African-Australian myths have like less god access after big floods. Uniformity suggests planned god pullback rules, not local. Code for same changes. Many areas implies central plan. Do beyond old culture links. Post-deluge divine rule fragments clear from Mesopotamian writings on growing splits among Anunnaki. Unified Flood Orchestrate Group showed inner fights that led to full human pullback. Conflicts in Akkadian, Sumerian sources show complex politic where groups pushed diff post-flood human handleways. Best known fight between Enlil, Enki on human future path. Nineveh library tablets keep debate details in Assembly of 50, main Anunnaki rule group. Enlil wanted strict human tech limit, saying pre-flood mess from too much human power threaten cosmos. Dig support with tech backslide post-flood many sites. Enki, in Enki Ninhursag works, favored slow give-back human tech under watch. Eridu tablets tell proposals for controlled teach programs restore key skills like metal, math, farm optimized with guards versus industry grow that caused flood. Specs show Enki deep no human grow, belief full suppress bad long run. Atrahasis epic gives full how philosophy diff became real rule fights in council. Describes assemblies where Enlil showed proof human numbers up despite flood cut. Say tech help speed grow too much. Presentations had demo calcs with math models show pop dynamics, resource use. Enki counters, in fragments many collections, stress economy plus from productive humans for resource get, infra keep. Texts tell detail, cost benefit compare direct god work versus human labor efficiency. Math Exact shows access, advanced analyze tools for complex resource scenarios. Tablets of Destinies, in many sources as base docs for god power ranks, central to growing Anunnaki fights. Anzu Epic tells, control them meant top rule power. Hold, let bind decisions for all god group. Temple digs Nippur. Babylon shows special storerooms for important docs. Hint reel for legend admin records. Akkadian sources say tablets not just symbol, but practical codes for tech systems, God watch human. Enuma Elish refs them, control weather change, farm boost, Comnet's link God centers Mesopotamia. Tech details hint advanced infra, not supernatural. Anzu theft in narratives, many versions more than myth, when see as admin power fights in God ranks. Text tells security around tablet access, bio ID, multi-auth prevent wrong use. Detail, desk hints. Real tech no, not imagine God powers. Compare Anzu versions shows tablet theft caused rule crisis that stopped God decide long time. During vacuum, humans less watch, let own tech grow, land spread beyond old limits. Digs then show more settlements, trade wide, big infra build hint less outside controls human do. Anzu crisis end, by Ninurta get back tablets set new ways divide God power that made official splits growing in council. Sources tell regional zones where single God admins had own control specific areas, human groups. This spread rule big change from unified pre-flood God admin. Early Earth-3 texts tell real effects. This split through conflicting God orders to human rulers near lands. Gudea cylinders. Keep accounts build. Projects need talk between many God powers whose areas overlap make bureau mess delay finish, up costs. These inefficiencies add to God annoy with human watch complex. Myth of Lahar and Eshnan shows how resource fights among God admins made chain problems human economy. Text tells disagrees on farm output goals, livestock share, trade path manage that disrupt supply, many city-states same time. Digs Babylon granaries show store changes, then hint adjust irregular supply, not season usual. Inner council fights went past policy to personal rival that hurt admin efficiency. Decide unity. Inanna Ereshkigal cycle keeps detail area fights between God siblings that grew to formal law need council step in. Texts tell fancy arbitrate with witness get, proof check, past research show advanced law frames for God admin ties. Inanna Descent gives specifics on bureau steps for cross-area travel in God system. Tells checkpoints, orthodox need, security clear that delay routine com. Complex hints God rule became bureau system favor secure, territory control over efficiency do. Akkadian sources tell how these admin messes added to less quick God watch human, make chances unauthorized human, do that more complex God manage. Gilgamesh epic tells times, human rulers start big policy change, no proper God. Okay, make precedents, challenge set rule ways. Digs Palace Mari, Babylon show build, changes hint more independent, royal decide then. Nipper fragments, keep records, formal complaints by God. Admins on human exceed, allowed for tech grow, land spread, resource use. Docs tell standard report for human break, detail proof need, penalty set ways. Bureau nature hints, God rule more formal, process complex. Old Babylonian math texts show human scholars start own calculate that cut depend on God teach complex calcs. Plimpton 322, related, show solve ways let own build plan, Star Watch, economy analyze no God ask. This brain-free challenge no base power that kept God control human grow. Era Epic tells how compete among God admins for human output metrics made incentive that encourage fast tech advance despite official limit human ability policies. God admins got performance check on territory economy. Pressure max human output through tech, help against council orders, limit human. Then, legal texts tell more frequent God-human contract fights need formal arbitrate through special courts. Hammurabi Code has rules. Resolve conflicts, human law decide, and God admin orders. Hint jurisdiction. Mix routine problem needs system law. Frames resolve. Digs court complexes show build. For God reps during law. Hint regular God join human judge. Lament over destruction tells how admin fights council members added to uneven policy. Do that weaken God watch systems. Text tells situations contradict God. Orders make impossible follow for human admins. Result system policy fail that hurt God authority. Encourage human independent moves. Temple Archive Analyze shows less frequent Godcom records, late 3rd millennium BC. Hint inner fights take more God admin attention. Cut time for human watch. Ritual texts then tell changed ways. God ask that fit less God available, more rely standard response ways, not personal God guide. All these inner fights effects made rule crisis in council that hard effective human watch keep. Admin energy for inner disputes left less for full monitor. Intervene systems that before kept God control human paths. This overload key in final decide full pull from direct human rule. Divine Council admin mess hit peak when long tensions among Igigi, lesser gods for labor jobs, broke into open revolt against Anunnaki bosses. This uprising, best in Atrahasis epic, backed by fragments many cuneiform groups, key moment when base structure God-human ties changed forever. Revolt showed big flaws Anunnaki labor manage, while giving spark for human make as replace workforce. Atrahasis epic, full in Ashurbanipal library tablets, but from old Sumerian, tells Igigi as god beings for keep complex infra that support Anunnaki society. Duties cover dig, keep water channels, build fixed temples, mine mountains, run tech for weather control, farm boost Mesopotamia areas. Digs Sipar, Nibiru show huge earthworks need coward labor with precise engineer, back text desk-wide god build. Epic says Igigi revolt start after 40 years harden build water channels, flood control Euphrates, details work conditions, shift sun up down minimal break, food short not enough energy, danger deep digs with collapse, flood risks. These parallel later human labor projects hint God work organized like later human build. SIPA tablets keep admin records. Igigi assign scope. Show massive infra. Canals hundreds kilometers need precise slope calcs. Keep flow. Prevent erode. Math specs keep show engineer know for hydraulic more advanced most modern irrigate. Hint Igigi trained high despite low god rank. Revolt trigger per Atrahasis. When Enlil demand expand canal net impossible short time for more farm output. Text tells formal meet. Igigi reps show proof project impossible with workforce. Time. Include math calcs, show meet deadline, need schedules over physical limit, even for gods with extra ability. Enlil reject concerns. In Babylon Akkadian fragments, start first organized god work stop history. Igigi stop all work same time, many sites. Leave tools. Gather Ekur Temple Nippur. Present demands better conditions. Less quotas. Nippur digs show burn layers approximately 2800 BC. Maybe match revolt temple fires. Hint history-based narratives. Sumerian Enlil Ninlil keeps more on revolt. Organized show advanced labor cohort Igigi. Tells Comnets let same time, stops far sites, hint plan, cohort challenge assume hierarchy god society. Rebels keep unified despite distance hints Comtech or organize for real-time cohort vast areas. Sources tell Anunnaki Council first response revolt mix, military crush with diplomat talk. Zoo myth keeps armed clashes. Anunnaki security and Igigi groups fortify around key infra. Tells specific tactics. Cohort defense. Resource deny. Psych war show. Military advanced rebels. Military fail. In era epic related. Force council consider other solve labor crisis. Asher fragments tell emergency sessions debate proposals. full auto-manual labor tech. Recruit more God workers other areas. Create new workforce bioengineer. Detail tech talks. Keep show advanced no genetics. Bio. Auto for evaluate complex solve. Enki proposal make humans replace workers came from deliberations as best practical. Atrahasis tells presentation detail specs bioentities enough smart, physical for labor, but lack brain complex challenge God power. Eridu temple digs show lab facilities vent. Temp control. Chemstore could support bio-research. Human make destin sources show great genetic engineer no not understand till modern. Enuma Elish tells mix clay, God blood make first humans. Terms may be old desk, combine organic-based genetic from God. Chem analyze clay from creation sites, show trace rare earth. Organic not local Mesopotamia soil. Hint tech app, not simple pot. Akkadian texts tell human make need many tries optimal. Early versions defects need fix modified ways. Atrahasis mentions make too strong security risk, too weak no labor, too smart question roles. Parallel modern genetic challenges, trait optimize, unintended mod effects. Success viable humans, per Sumerian, first solve labor crisis abundant workforce, do manual no politic mess from Igigi revolt. Early humans, Eridu genesis, great productivity farm, build, resource get while obedient God bosses. Early site digs show fast cultivate expand, sophisticated infra build back desk enhanced output human labor. But long consequences replace God workers. Humans made new problems more complex, original Igigi revolt. Texts tell human numbers over project, need more resource feed, house, manage big work populations. Admin burden human watch start consume God resources rate, negate efficiency from labor cut. Sumerian flood story keeps accounts. Human work improve, let tech advance, slow cut depend. God watch. Humans develop own solve, let better build, optimize farm, make tools, boost work. Improvements first. Good project but start undermine tech. Depend design. Keep God control humans. Compare pre-post human creation. Admin texts show big up. Bureau complex manage humans. Versus simple command for Igigi. Humans need detail instruct each task. Constant watch quality. Complex incentive keep output. Overhead. Human manage start over resource. Save from less God labor. Gilgamesh epic keeps desk human workers make own social, that complex God, manage through alternate power in communities. Workers follow human supers. Not God, make parallel command, cut God control. Digs worker house. Babylon show community. Organize hint own social, no God plan. Legal texts tell more disputes. Human workers, God supers over conditions, assign, resource. Lipit Ishtar code has rules. Resolve conflicts. Human groups, God admins, hint work manage. Routine challenge, need formal law. These law messes made more bureau overhead, cut initial efficiency. Human work. Nippur lament tells human new create security worry. God admin see advance human ability could challenge God like original Igigi revolt. Human own metal, math, engineer cut depend. God teach, give tools, no potential resist. Earth 3 temple archives. Doc decline, God happy human work as humans make sophisticated, organize let coord resist unpopular God orders. Texts tell human groups refuse assign, demand better, organize protest, disrupt schedules. Human labor emerge parallel early. Igigi revolt, hint replace God workers. Humans just move base labor problems, different population. All these human complications made second labor crisis harder, original Igigi. Unlike God workers control through hierarchy, humans need complex manage consume more God admin resources, give less reliable output. Burden human watch approach. Levels make continued direct human affairs. Economy unsustainable Anunnaki Council. Math analyze productivity archives show human efficiency peak early centuries after make but slow decline as humans make own ability. Social. Cost-benefit calcs first justify human solve. Igigi starts show negative as overhead over gains. Economy real gives strong argue council members push full pull direct human manage. Anunnaki admin tire after dual crisis inner fights. Human work mess need base restructure, God-human rule ties. Instead, keep direct watch complex human. Council set delegate transfer. Immediate admin to select human go-betweens, while keep ultimate God power through institution frames design. Keep Anunnaki influence many human lead generations. Earliest dock shift direct God rule, human mediating Kish tablets approximately 2700 BC, where Sumerian king list records first post-flood human rulers get clear God mandate through formal ceremony. Texts desk fancy right, Anunnaki reps, physical transfer power symbols. Human kings, holy staff, crown, seat and body. God rule power. Kish digs uncover throne rooms. Design fit human God participants. Include high platforms. Acoustic boost God speech. Keep physical separate mortal immortal. Kish list keeps detail specs God mandate system. Make human rulers authorized. Anunnaki reps not independent. Protocols need human kings. Extensive trained by God. Teachers give education. Government admin, law steps, military plan, economy manage. Mari Royale archives tablets, doc curriculum these train. Math instruct tax calcs, engineer infra keep, diplomat intercity. Tech depth education materials show God keep full no transfer design. Sure human rulers have need ability, effective rule. Early dynastic royal inscribe show slow evolve God mandate from direct appoint, hereditary pass. Keep God legit through blood. Mesolim inscribe Girsu tells God, power pass father, son if heir show skill, get formal. God confirm temple test. Succession ways make stable rule change, while keep God watch institution, check each potential ruler, quals per God standards. Develop formal crown ceremonies in Nippur, Babylon. Ritual texts set standard transfer God power. Human kings stress conditional royal power. Ceremonies include oath, where kings pledge follow God orders, keep set law, accept duty subjects, follow God needs. Coronation site digs show special build. Underground rooms link temple hidden paths. Hint God reps keep physical there. Ceremonies but hide general C. Transition period. Mesopotamian law codes show human rulers use delegate God power through judge systems keep link. Anunnaki law principles adapt local, culture vary. Eshnunna code include rules direct ref God law. Past set human court ways do God justice through mortal offices. Law frames make institution continue preserve God. Law power human admin. Let consistent law enforce many human ruler generations, no need constant God step routine law. Rise special priest classes, then most advanced part God delegate, make permanent institution keep ongoing calm human societies, Anunnaki bosses. Early dynastic temple builds, show design, new facilitate God human through priests, holy rooms, acoustic clearcom, God human religious, special store, God com devices, live quarters. Priests keep constant temple run. Girsu Anu temple tablets keep detailed job description. Priest positions show complex organized need, effective God human communication. Text description roles. God message translators human lang. Rite experts ceremonies keep God temple. Admin priests manage economy resource support temple. Tech specs positions hint priest train need wide education lang. Right, economy, diplomat. Ziggurat builds then, physical show interface, human god realms with build features, show deep engineer god operate needs. Uruk Anu Ziggurat has construct make best acoustic god human calm. Chamber sizes calcs, amfrec range filter noise. Mortar chem analyze show additives make EM shield. Hint structures design fit tech systems, not just ceremony. Babylon Temple Archives, doc economy infra keep god human interface. Detail budgets priest pay. Temple maintain costs. Resource allocate right offers, sustain god there. Finance records show keep effective god calm. Need big economy invest. Temple take big city resource through tax design fund religious infra. Economy burden systems make incentive efficient temple manage sure enough resource keep god ties. 3 admin texts desky standard ways. God consult through priest, let human rulers get God guide. Major government decide, cut frequency direct. God step routine admin. Consult ways include specific right needs, set time, divine comm sessions, formal doc record, God instruct. Bureau nature systems hint God human comm evolve, structure institution process, let consistent interact, minimize disrupt God schedules. Develop divination, then make extra channels. God human comm supplement, direct consult priests. Mesopotamian divination texts describe techniques, interpret God messages through nature events, animal acts. Star Watch let human rulers get God guide, no need, formal temple communication. Royal complex digs show special facilities divination. Observe platforms star align. Chambers check sacrifice animals per interpret ways. Mari, Babylon royal letters show human rulers use multiple comm channels. Keep connect God powers, manage complex government duties. Letters, desk consult major policy. Report inform God, supers big develop. Request get God okay unusual. Formal diplomat langkom hint God human ties evolve structure. Government partners not simple command. Slow expand human admin ability, then make chances more government independent test effective God watch through human go-betweens. Ebla Palace archives keep records. Human rulers make big policy no prior God consult. Hint confidence human government, encourage more own decide. These independent rule times make precedents challenge set God watch ways while show human ability. Manage complex admin. Late early dynastic temple build projects show build changes. Hint adapt change God their comm needs. Later designs add multiple backup God comm. Extra acoustic rooms, alternate access God reps, emergency comm work disrupt primary. Build new hint, recognize God available. Human consult less predict, need flexible institution, keep effective rule ties. Royal libraries math texts. Doc develop independent human calculate cut depend, God instruct complex government calcs. Babylonian math tablets include solve techniques, tax calcs, resource optimize, economy plan, let own government decide, no God math help. Depth these compute methods, hint human brain grow. Approach levels make constant God watch less need effective rule. Then legal docs show more disputes. Human rulers, priests over area boundaries, decide power. God delegate system. Babylon Palace archives have formal complaints. Priest interfere government, while temple archives counter royal break God consult ways. Institution conflicts hint. Delegate system make power struggles. Human government, religious that complex, do God watch policies. Rise intercity diplomat, then add complex God watch systems design. Main manage single city rule, not coordinate multiple human politic. Diplomat letters, Mesopotamia city. Show negotiate military alliance, trade agree, land disputes need coordinate multiple God powers, possible conflict interests. Diplomat messes make situations. Human rulers get contradict. God instruct, force develop, own decide, resolve conflicts, compete God orders. Palace digs, then show build features. Hint human rulers develop independent com. Decide supplement, not replace God consult. Royal audience rooms add design. Let private talk. Human officials know. God observe. Admin quarters secure store sensitive docs. Build new hint human government, evolve more independent, keep formal follow God watch needs. All develop make government system human rulers have more practical power. Keep formal under God, watch their institution. Keep Anunnaki influence, no need constant direct step. Delegate let divine counsel cut admin burden. Keep ultimate control. Human paths make sustainable frame. Long God-human ties function even less. God-available routine rule watch. Delegate systems through human king, priests work well centuries. But Mesopotamian star records show God there. Patterns follow cycle vary. That final decide Anunnaki full pull. Active human rule. Celestial watch keep in cuneiform. Math texts, temple archives. Doc system links, astronomical events. Periods less God access hint departure plan. Per cosmic time, not just Earth politic. Mulapin star series. Neo-Assyrian compile, but include observed data over 1,000 years. Most full doc celestial cycles. Mesopotamian link God activity. Texts desk base 3,600 year cycle. Share govern major God-human tie changes. With specific star markers show best time big cosmic rule structure shifts. Math exact calcs show observability track star places, planet move, precession accurate need system. Data collect many centuries, constant star monitor. Seleucid Babylonian star diaries keep refs earlier. Observe records track links specific sky events. Doc God com disrupt. Texts desk temple. Star watchers keep detail logs. God consult sessions. Record success com periods. Standard right fail contact Anunnaki reps. Stats analyze records, show consistent patterns. Com hard coincide particular star setups. Planet joins. Eclipse cycles. Star align recur per predict math sequences. Amisaduka Venus tablet key proof how Mesopotamian star watchers track planet cycles, relation God their patterns. Doc records, Venus observe extraordinary precise, note not just synodic period, but subtle bright vary, orbit time, position other bodies. Tablet format hints, part bigger star database track, multiple planets same time. Cross-ref observe, let predict complex sky events, decades, centuries ahead. Clay Chem analyze tablet, show trace elements, multiple places, hint coord, observe many Mesopotamian cities. Sipar temple archives have math texts, desk compute ways. Calque, divine availability cycles. Base star observe planet places. Star setups. Calcs add variables lunar phase, planet join freak. Precession time make complex math models predict when God com optimal versus likely fail. Compute depth models need math no trig functions. Log calcs. Stats analyze not formal west math till later. Enuma Anu Enlil. Big collect star omens over 70 tablets. Keeps detail links, specific sky phenomena doc changes, God behavior many centuries. Texts desk how certain planet setups always before periods, less God response human consult requests. While other sky events sure show times, God powers especially OpenCom guide. System these links hints. Mesopotamian star watchers find real cause, ties celestial mechanics. God operate patterns, not just chance. Ashurbanipal library, uniform tablets, have fragments. Old texts, theoretical base under star god links. Docs explain Anunnaki. Operate schedules, sync cosmic cycles, govern best time various activities, interdimension travel, tech maintain, admin core diff god areas. Tech lang desk hints, familiar advanced physics, gravity field vary, EM, interfere patterns, dimension stable factors, affect sophisticated tech systems run. Babylonian math star texts, Deskau base share 3,600 years. Basic unit measure major cosmic shifts affect God operatability. Docs explain, share match specific orbit ties. Celestial bodies make best conditions. Certain God do, while temp impractical, impossible others. Texts say God-human interact systems need particular EM field setups occur. Predict per star cycles. Let advance plan enhance reduce commability periods. Babylon star diaries. Doc-specific times. Predict hard base. Star calcs prove accurate practice. Give empirical check theoretical models under Mesopotamian celestial god link systems. Records desk temple sessions, right fail contact, predict interfere periods, then success when star conditions back favorable. Consistency patterns. Many decades observe hints. Mesopotamian star watchers develop reliable predict models. God access base celestial mechanics. Sargon II Assyrian royal. Inscribe keep accounts. Military campaigns schedule per star calcs. Sure God support critical ops. Texts desk court star watchers. Calc best time major battles. Diplomat negotiate. Land expand. Base predict enhance GodCom support. Battlefield dig sites. Mention inscribe show tactic advantages. Hint super help engagements due per star time. While campaign start predict interfere periods, always strategic fail despite better military. Babylon temple build records show major architecture projects start per star time calcs. Sure God approve help through build phases. Docs desk foundation ceremonies. Cornerstone set. Dedicate rites. Schedule coincide specific sky events. Max God their support build. These temple complex archaeology show construct techniques. Material props over normal human ability history periods. Hint, star time success. Let access God tech help optimal celestial. Gilgamesh epic has embed star refs. Deskau hero immortality quest coincide. Specific sky events affect God. Access decide process. Compare various epic versions. Show consistent star time elements. Hint narrative keep history accounts. Real events particular cosmic cycles. Math precise star refs. Hints access sophisticated compute tools. Calc complex celestial time. Not general myth tell God interact. Neo-Babylonian divination texts desk how star observe. Let predict God policy changes. Admin shifts affect human government systems. Docs say major shifts God-human ties always during particular sky events. Rare planet align. Eclipse series. Precession shifts make best conditions do big changes. Cosmic rule structures. Predict accurate these star models, let human rulers prepare less. God watch periods strengthen own government ability. Set backup, keep social stable transition. Multiple site digs show. Build special star observe facilities late 3rd millennium BC with design optimized track sky events. God activity. Observatories include align view rooms, MathCalc area special store compute tablets, com facilities cord observe diff cities. Engineer sophisticated facilities hints, big resource invest, star research programs, consider essential keep effective God-human ties. Compare star records. Egypt, India, China show similar links, celestial cycles. Doc changes, God-human interact, many ancient societies, same rough times. Egyptian star texts, desk periods, less god oracle activity coincide specific star setups, while Vedic star treatises dock links planet places access divine human consult. Shang China star records include observe sky events before dock changes god mandate, royal pass patterns. Consistency cross-culture star links hint celestial factors affect God. Operability global, not regional specific Mesopotamia. Math analyze international star records show sync time patterns, hint chord, God responses. Cosmic cycles, many geo areas. Culture systems. Precise coordinates implies central plan. Communication ability over normal old culture. Interact information exchange. Mesopotamian math texts describe compute procedures, calculation approach, major share cycle shifts, need-based changes, God operate ways, human relation manage. Calcs add multiple star variables, planet orbit mechanics, star precession rates, galaxy position factors, make complex math models need advanced compute, accurate long predict. Depth. These calcs hints access math no. Compute tools. Let precise time, major cosmic shifts millennia future. Earth 3 temple archives. Dock more frequent Godcom final centuries active. Anunnaki involve specific address. Prepare ways upcoming cosmic cycle shifts. Texts desk detail. Instruct set human institution. Capable keep social stable less God watch. Government structures, law frames, economy systems, design function no constant God watch. Comprehensive these prepare, instruct hints. System plan managed shift less. God involve not sudden leave human watch duties. Babylon star tablets keep calcs show major star cycle shift link. Anunnaki depart schedule coincide. Rare celestial align. Multiple planet joins. Lunar eclipse series. Specific star setups occur every approximately 3,600 years. Calculations show departure time. Set cosmic factors, not Earth politic. Depart follow natural cosmic cycles. Govern best time major shifts. God operate ways. Math precise these star time calcs shows Mesopotamian scholars have compute ability let accurate predict complex sky events many millennia. Hint access advanced math. No observe tools over normal human tech history period. Consistency, accurate predict hints. God powers give human star watchers sophisticated compute resources. Design let understand predict cosmic cycles affect future God-human ties. Last cuneiform references active Anunnaki human affairs from narrow approximately 2,200 to 2000 BC. Mark shift direct God rule. Pure ceremony acknowledge former power. These end records scatter temple archives. Nippur, Babylon, Assur show system. Pullback process change. Anunnaki active admins. Distant symbol figures influence through set institution. Frames not personal step. Sumerian theology treatise. Keep Ishtar temple Babylon tablets. Give most full doc this shift through detail accounts changed. God consult ways to final decades. Active Anunnaki there. Texts desk how standard right before. Let direct com God power start. Need more fancy ceremony prepare. Achieve even limit contact. Temple staff report success. God consult once through simple rite. Now demand complex multi-day ceremonies. Special offers. Precise star time. Multiple priest experts chord sequence. Transitional period temple digs show build changes, fit changed, God their patterns. Rebuilt Ekur Nippur add features. Multiple extra com rooms each diff acoustic. Right gear. Various divine contact tries. Construct materials chem. Analyze these modified temples. Show add rare mineral make EM shield props. Hint keep God calm. Need more sophisticated tech, counter, overcome, interfere, disrupt standard contact ways. Or 3 admin cuneiform tablets, Doc bureau messes from less. God access through detail records, delay government decide wait. God consult. Doc's desk major policy do. Before need brief. God confirm. Now involve long wait while temple try. Contact unreliable comm systems. Babylon Palace archives. Keep letters. Human rulers express annoy admin delays from God consult hard. Hint less Anunnaki available. Make practical government problems need alternate decide ways. Neo-Babylonian math, precise star calcs, shows Mesopotamian scholars understand cosmic time factors under God pullback patterns. Let predict periods. God contact impossible, no matter right use. Temple star archives have compute models, accurate forecast, calm blackout months years, no ceremony effort establish divine contact. Predictability. Let human powers plan government around. Expect God unavailable. Slow develop own decide systems function. No God consult needs. Later. The third ritual texts desk changed ceremony ways. Acknowledge God there. Accept less God. Join human affairs. Destruction lament keeps detail. Desk ceremonies divine statues, stay physical temple holy. But no respond traditional activate rites before let direct God calm. These changed rites focus honor God power, request keep protect, while acknowledge direct consult no available standard ways. Fancy these ceremonies hints. Keep symbol. God connect need more complex rite, invest compensate, less actual God access. Then art represent show slow change. Anunnaki depict active human affairs. Participants distant watchers influence through go-between agents. Symbol there. Gudea period relief sculptures show God figures keep physical separate human through build barriers. High platforms. Intermediary reps facilitate calm God human. These artways contrast sharp earlier show direct God-human interact no ceremony go-between. Hint changed ways. God-human ties stress hierarchy distance, not collaborate partner. Icon evolve, God represent Mesopotamian art, shows system changes. How Anunnaki power conceptual display during pullback. Early art traditions depict God beings use tools, join build, direct talk human. Later ways show God as static power symbols, surround human servants. Intermediary officials handle practical admin tasks. Sculpture techniques analyze these. Later represent shows, standard make methods. Hint mass produce, God images, institution display. Not individual art, interpret God traits. Babylonian rework earlier. Sumerian accounts shows how later Mesopotamian scholars understand keep memories active. Anunnaki involve while adapt history accounts. Contemporary religious politic frames. Babylonian creation. Epic add Sumerian narrative parts. Desk. Direct God. Join human but reframe accounts. Primordial events set cosmic order. Not recent history do. This recontext preserve detail tech info. Anunnaki ability activities while position accounts. Myth precedents not contemporary real. Text compare. Analyze shows Babylonian, Assyrian scribe system edit earlier. Sumerian sources stress God transcend, not direct involve human. Parallel creation narratives, versions show consistent changes. Active God joined as Sumerian originals, become indirect God influence through nature forces. Human agents later, Babylonian adapt. These edit changes keep essential earlier accounts, while adjust present match contemporary understand proper God-human boundary. Assyrian version Gilgamesh epic shows sophisticated lit techniques preserve history memories. God-human interact while present accounts acceptable myth frames. Compare Sumerian, Old Babylonian, Neo-Assyrian versions show system changes keep narrative consistent, while adjust portray God. Involve match evolve religious sense. Assyrian version keep detail tech info. God ability tech systems while present info legend. not history content. Old Babylonian legal docs show how institution frames set during active Anunnaki rule. Continue work effective, despite less God watch-through system code. God law principles, human judge systems. Hammurabi Code add legal past, set through direct God instruct, but present principles. Royal law, not God mandate. Institution continue. Let consistent law enforce. Government admin, while fit less God available routine law. Consult dispute resolve. Babylon. Assur temple economy records. Doc slow change. God service duties. Practical support. Active God live symbol offers. Keep institution continue. No expect direct God return. Archives show decline resource allocate God com facilities. Tech maintain while up invest. Ceremony activities. Symbol displays God honor. Economy efficient these changed religious systems. Let sustainable temple run. Preserve institution structures. No need big resource invest. Keep active God. Their comeability. Neo-Babylonian math texts show how human compute ability develop. Replace God math. Instruct through system. Develop independent calc methods, solve techniques. Babylonian math tablets show sophisticated understand algebra principles. Geometry calcs. Star computes let own science research, no need God math guide. Precise these compute methods, hints human brain develop reach levels, make constant God math instruct unnecessary advanced tech app. Then medical texts show similar human know, develop patterns. Cut depend. God medical instruct through system. Compile empirical medical know. Pharmaceutical prepare techniques. Diagnostic handbook. Related medical compile. Keep detail. Clinical observe treatment. Ways. Show sophisticated. Understand pathology. Body. Therapy procedures. Develop through human medical research. Not God instruct. These medical advances let own healthcare systems function effective, no need. God medical consult routine patient care. Late Neo-Babylonian star observe, doc final confirm, anomalous sky phenomena. Mesopotamian star watchers link God tech activities. Records des unusual star. Bright vary, unexplained air disturb. EM interfere patterns, disrupt standard star. Observe specific times. Correlate final refs. Active God there, temple archives. System these observe hints. Mesopotamian star watchers keep sophisticated monitor systems. Detect tech signatures. Link God activities, even when direct comm. No possible. Seleucid period star diaries keep last doc attempts, establish God comm through. Star time calcs, desk fancy ceremony do during best celestial conditions. Fail achieve contact despite exact follow traditional ways. These records hint by approximately 300 BC, even most sophisticated Godcom ways no produce reliable results. Suggest tech systems let God-human interact, permanent, deactivate, or remove operate status. Late period temple complex archaeology shows inbuilt changes change, Godcom facilities, memorial spaces, dedicate preserve memory, former God. They're not facilitate ongoing God contact. Esagil temple, rebuild. Hellenistic period, add design elements. Display Godcom equipment. History artifacts, not functional systems. Hint institution. Acknowledge active Godcom. And permanent not temp. Change Anunnaki active rulers. Myth figures later. Mesopotamian literature reflects system institution. Adapt permanent God pullback through developed religious frames. Preserve God power concepts while acknowledge less God access. Hellenistic period. Religious texts, Deske God. Beings transcendent cosmic forces. Influence operate through nature laws. Institution traditions, not direct step human affairs. This theology evolve, let continue recognize God power while fit practical real God, absent routine human rule. Admin. Persian period admin docs. Mesopotamian cities show how government systems original set under direct Godwatch continue work. Effective through institution. Momentum system preserve God admin principles. Human bureau ways. These records show delegate systems do, during transition, make enough strong institution frames. Keep social, stable, effective rule, despite permanent God pullback active watch duties. All evidence keep Mesopotamian text archaeology records hints. Anunnaki depart. Planned shift. Not sudden leave with system, prepare ways. Let human institution systems keep social stable tech continue. Despite indirect God watch. Depth these prepare ways. Hints, God powers invest big effort. Sure success shift own human rule, hint concern. Human well civilization continue, not indifferent leave former subjects. Final Anunnaki legacy through institution frames. Tech no, government principles set during active join human affairs. Modern archaeology keep reveal proof their sophisticated tech ability, advanced science no. Complex admin systems provide base later human civilization develop. System preserve this evidence. Mesopotamian text build records. Sure history. Real God. Human cooperate humanity form. Period. Stay access. Contemporary study despite permanent end. That extraordinary human history chapter. Mystery their final. Go current do stay beyond human know. Yet transform influence human civilization. Keep operate through institution structures. Brain traditions, tech bases set during millennia. Direct join human affairs. Anunnaki legacy shows advanced societies can success shift depend. Population's own rule. Through careful prepare system. No transfer. Make sustainable bases continue develop long after direct watch ends. The gradual fading of direct Anunnaki involvement in earthly matters did not occur as a single dramatic exit, but unfolded across several centuries as a deliberate, phased disengagement. By the late 3rd millennium BC, the once frequent interactions, marked by clear instructions, physical manifestations in temples, and immediate responses to human supplications, had become increasingly sporadic and mediated. Human societies, having internalized much of the organizational knowledge imparted during earlier epochs, began to rely more heavily on inherited systems rather than constant divine oversight. This transition period witnessed the consolidation of priestly hierarchies as permanent custodians of celestial wisdom, ensuring that rituals, astronomical observations, and legal precedents continued to reflect Anunnaki principles even as personal divine encounters diminished. Temple complexes evolved architecturally to accommodate this new reality. Where earlier structures featured intimate sanctuaries designed for close communion between deities and select humans, later designs incorporated layered barriers, multiple courtyards, guarded gateways, and elevated platforms that physically and symbolically distanced the sacred from the profane. These modifications were not merely practical responses to security concerns or growing populations. They embodied a theological acknowledgement that the era of unmediated divine presence had passed. Priests assumed expanded roles as interpreters of omens, custodians of sacred archives, and intermediaries who channeled fragmented divine communications through standardized divinatory practices. Hepatoscopy, liver divination, extispacy, and celestial omens became central mechanisms for discerning celestial will, compensating for the rarity of direct revelation. Economic records from cities like Ur, Lagash, and Nippur during the Ur-3 period illustrate how temple institutions adapted to reduced divine participation. Offerings shifted from symbolic gestures to substantial resource commitments, grain surpluses, livestock, precious metals, and labor services that sustained elaborate priesthoods and maintained temple facilities. These expenditures functioned as a form of tribute, preserving cosmic harmony and ensuring continued, albeit distant, celestial favor. The bureaucratic apparatus that managed these resources grew increasingly sophisticated, with detailed ledgers tracking inflows and outflows, reflecting a human adaptation of earlier Anunnaki administrative models to a world where divine supervisors no longer issued real-time directives. Despite the apparent withdrawal, echoes of Anunnaki influence persisted in subtle yet profound ways. The concept of me, the divine decrees or powers governing aspects of civilization, remained embedded in Mesopotamian thought long after active divine rule ended. These me encompassed everything from kingship and priesthood to craftsmanship, warfare, and sexual relations. Later rulers invoked them in inscriptions, claiming possession or restoration of these powers as justification for their authority. The continuity suggests that the Anunnaki had not merely taught specific skills, but had instilled a conceptual framework for understanding order, one that human societies could perpetuate independently. Astronomical knowledge provides perhaps the clearest evidence of inherited sophistication. Babylonian star catalogues from the first millennium BC demonstrate positional accuracy and predictive capacity that imply access to observational traditions far older than the periods in which they were recorded. The ability to forecast eclipses, track planetary retrogrades, and maintain intercalary calendars required systematic data accumulation over generations. Knowledge that aligns closely with the precision attributed to pre-flood and early post-flood eras in legendary accounts. While later astronomers relied on empirical methods and mathematical refinement, the foundational paradigms appear to have been transmitted intact, suggesting a deliberate handover of intellectual capital during the withdrawal phase. Legal and administrative continuity further underscores this legacy. The famous Code of Hammurabi, composed around 1750 BC, incorporates principles of proportional justice, evidentiary standards, and contractual obligations that trace back to earlier compilations like those of Ur-Nammu and Lipit Ishtar. These codes emphasize restitution over retribution, protection of vulnerable classes, and the role of the ruler as enforcer of cosmic equity. Ideas consistent with the sophisticated governance attributed to Anunnaki oversight. The persistence of such frameworks indicates that human legislators were not inventing anew, but adapting and expanding upon established divine precedents. Mythological narratives from the 2nd and 1st millennia BC reflect a cultural memory of divine departure. Stories preserved in Akkadian and later Babylonian literature often portray the gods as increasingly remote, residing in celestial realms or subterranean abodes, communicating only through signs or chosen intermediaries. The Epic of Era, for instance, depicts divine conflict and temporary abandonment of earthly cities, resulting in chaos until order is restored. Such tales may encode historical recollections of periods when celestial guidance faltered, compelling humans to rely on their own resources. By the time of the Old Babylonian period, human rulers increasingly asserted independent legitimacy. Royal inscriptions emphasize personal achievements, military victories, temple constructions, canal excavations, alongside traditional claims of divine election. This dual rhetoric reveals a transitional mindset. Acknowledgement of celestial sanction remained essential for political legitimacy, yet practical authority derived from human agency and administrative competence. The rise of figures like Hammurabi illustrates how kings could centralize power, codify laws, and expand territories while framing their reigns as fulfillments of ancient divine mandates. The Kassite and Middle Babylonian eras saw further evolution. Foreign dynasties adopted Mesopotamian royal ideology, integrating themselves into the existing framework of divine kingship. Temples continued as economic powerhouses and centers of learning, preserving cuneiform scholarship that included astronomical, mathematical, and medical knowledge originally linked to divine instruction. Scribal schools trained elites in these disciplines, ensuring transmission across generations even as direct divine involvement receded into legend. In the Neo-Assyrian and Neo-Babylonian periods, the memory of Anunnaki presence became more symbolic. Kings like Ashurbanipal assembled vast libraries, collecting ancient tablets as treasures of wisdom. Astronomical diaries maintained meticulous records, correlating celestial events with terrestrial affairs in ways reminiscent of earlier omen traditions. Yet these practices functioned within a worldview where gods operated through natural laws rather than direct intervention. Divination remained crucial, but its results were interpreted within increasingly formalized protocols. The Hellenistic period, following Alexander's conquests, introduced Greek philosophical influences that reinterpreted Mesopotamian traditions. Berossus, a Babylonian priest writing in Greek, presented sanitized versions of creation and flood myths to a Hellenistic audience, framing them as historical, rather than purely mythological. This cross-cultural exchange preserved core elements while adapting them to new intellectual contexts. Under Persian, Seleucid, and Parthian rule, Mesopotamian temples retained economic and cultural significance, serving as repositories of ancient knowledge. Astronomical observations continued, contributing to the development of Greek and later Islamic science. The zodiac, planetary associations, and mathematical astronomy that spread across the ancient world trace roots to Babylonian systems ultimately derived from much earlier traditions. Even as political control shifted to foreign powers, local priesthoods maintained rituals honoring distant celestial deities. The persistence of temple cults into the early centuries AD demonstrates institutional resilience. Only with the rise of Christianity and Islam did these practices gradually fade, though symbolic echoes remained in religious architecture, calendrical systems, and folk traditions. Modern scholarship approaches these ancient narratives with a combination of textual analysis, archaeological correlation, and comparative mythology. Mainstream Assyriologists view the Anunnaki as mythological constructs reflecting societal structures, natural forces, and political ideologies rather than literal extraterrestrial visitors. The Sumerian king list, for example, blends legendary antediluvian reigns with verifiable historical dynasties, serving propagandistic purposes by linking contemporary rulers to primordial authority. Alternative interpretations, popularized in the 20th century, propose that ancient texts describe actual advanced beings whose technology and biology explain rapid cultural leaps. Such views draw attention to textual anomalies, extended lifespans, sudden technological sophistication, cross-cultural parallels, but face criticism for selective reading, linguistic inaccuracies, and lack of corroborating physical evidence. Regardless of interpretive framework, the enduring fascination with these stories stems from fundamental questions about human origins, authority, and the relationship between the earthly and the transcendent. Mesopotamian records preserve a profound meditation on dependence and autonomy. How societies once guided by superior forces learned to govern themselves, retaining fragments of that guidance as cultural DNA. The legacy manifests in unexpected places. Modern legal principles of equity and due process echo ancient codes. Astronomical models that underpin contemporary calendars originated in Babylonian computations. Architectural symbolism in sacred structures worldwide recalls Mesopotamian ziggurats as interfaces between human and divine realms. Even popular culture, novels, films, and speculative theories revisits these motifs, suggesting that the narrative of celestial teachers who depart, leaving humanity to mature independently, resonates deeply with collective memory. In reflecting on this extended arc, from intimate divine-human partnership through catastrophic rupture, mediated delegation, symbolic persistence, to eventual mythological abstraction, one discerns a pattern of maturation. Advanced entities, whether understood as literal beings or archetypal projections, provided scaffolding for civilization's emergence. Once structural integrity was achieved, the scaffolding could be removed, allowing the edifice to stand on its own foundations. The question remains open whether such withdrawal was permanent or cyclical, tied to cosmic rhythms or internal divine politics. Ancient texts offer no definitive closure, only hints of larger patterns. What endures is the transformative impact. Humanity, equipped with tools of knowledge, organization, and self-reflection, navigated subsequent millennia without constant supervision, building upon inherited gifts while forging its own path. This inheritance, encoded in clay, stone, and story, invites ongoing exploration. Each generation reinterprets the fragments, finding in them mirrors of its own aspirations, fears, and quests for meaning. The Anunnaki saga, in its broadest sense, serves as a timeless parable of guidance given, challenges overcome, and autonomy earned. An enduring testament to the complex interplay between the human and the transcendent across deep time. The process of divine disengagement, once set in motion during the late 3rd and early 2nd millennia BC, unfolded not as abrupt abandonment, but as a carefully orchestrated retreat that allowed human societies to internalize and perpetuate the foundational structures previously sustained by direct celestial oversight. This phased withdrawal manifested across multiple domains: administrative, ritual, intellectual, and even cosmological. Human rulers, priests, and scholars gradually assumed roles that had once belonged exclusively to divine representatives, transforming what began as delegated authority into something approaching genuine autonomy. One of the most visible markers of this transition appears in the evolution of royal ideology. During the Ur-3 period, approximately 2112 to 2004 BC, kings like Shulgi and Amar-Sin still framed their reigns in terms of intimate divine partnership. Royal hymns and inscriptions describe these rulers as nourished at the breasts of goddesses, personally chosen in the assembly of gods, and granted extended lifespans or exceptional vitality as signs of celestial favor. Such language echoes earlier traditions of semi-divine kingship, but already shows subtle shifts. The emphasis moves towards the king's role as maintainer of cosmic order, rather than recipient of ongoing, day-to-day divine instruction. By the time of the Isin Larsa period, circa 2025 to 1763 BC, this rhetoric had further evolved. Kings began to highlight their own achievements: restoration of temples, digging of canals, military victories, while still invoking divine election. The formula chosen by the god X persisted, yet the practical content of inscriptions increasingly focused on human initiative and administrative competence. This rhetorical adjustment reflects a broader cultural adaptation. Legitimacy continued to derive from celestial sanction, But the mechanisms of rule relied more heavily on inherited bureaucratic expertise, scribal training, and institutional memory than on fresh divine pronouncements. Temple economies during this era illustrate another dimension of the transition. Large temple complexes at Ur, Nippur, Lagash, and Umma functioned as massive redistributive institutions, managing land, labor, livestock, and grain on scales that rivaled small modern states. Detailed administrative tablets record everything from ration distributions to field measurements, canal maintenance schedules, and livestock inventories. The sophistication of these records, using standardized metrology, accounting categories, and hierarchical reporting, demonstrates that the managerial knowledge originally attributed to divine instruction had become fully embedded in human practice. Priests and temple overseers operated these systems with minimal need for real-time celestial input, relying instead on precedent, ritual calendars, and professional scribal traditions. Astronomical and calendrical knowledge followed a parallel trajectory. The famous Babylonian astronomical diaries, which begin in earnest during the 7th century BC, but draw on much older observational traditions, preserve nightly records of planetary positions, lunar phases, eclipses, and meteorological phenomena. These logs served both practical purposes, agricultural timing, intercalation of months, and divinatory ones, interpreting celestial omens as indicators of divine mood or future events. The mathematical models underlying eclipse prediction and planetary theory, sexagesimal place value notation, linear zigzag functions for velocity changes, represent cumulative refinements of concepts that appear suddenly sophisticated in the early 2nd millennium BC. While later practitioners attributed improvements to empirical observation and generational data accumulation, the foundational paradigms align closely with the precision described in legendary pre-flood and immediate post-flood records. This intellectual continuity raises intriguing questions about knowledge transmission. Scribal schools, eduba, functioned as crucial conduits, training generations in cuneiform literacy, mathematical tables, lexical lists, and literary compositions. Curriculum tablets from Nippur, Ur, and other centers include multiplication tables, reciprocal tables, geometric problem sets, and model contracts that reflect applied mathematics far beyond everyday needs. The presence of such advanced training suggests deliberate institutional investment in preserving and expanding a body of knowledge originally framed as divine gift. Over centuries, this body of learning detached from its supernatural origin story and became simply the scribal art, a human profession with its own prestige and internal hierarchies. Mythological literature from the 2nd and 1st millennia BC further documents the cultural processing of divine withdrawal. Compositions like the Era and Isham epic portray periods of divine absence leading to societal collapse, followed by restoration once celestial order reasserts itself. In these narratives, gods temporarily abandon their cities, allowing chaos, famine, invasion, plague, until appeased through proper ritual and human repentance. Such stories may preserve folk memory of eras when celestial guidance seemed less reliable, compelling communities to rely on their own resilience and institutional mechanisms. The Babylonian creation epic Enuma Elish, standardized during the 2nd millennium BC, offers another lens. While celebrating Marduk's rise to supremacy among the gods, it incorporates older Sumerian motifs of cosmic organization and the assignment of roles to lesser deities. The text's emphasis on written tablets of destiny as instruments of divine authority recalls earlier traditions of celestial record-keeping and administrative control. By placing these elements within a framework of generational divine conflict and eventual stabilization, the epic reframes the Anunnaki era as foundational mythology rather than living reality. Cross-cultural parallels enrich this picture. Egyptian texts from roughly contemporaneous periods describe pharaohs as living gods, yet increasingly reliant on priestly bureaucracies and ritual protocols to maintain Ma'at, cosmic order. Indus Valley urban planning, with its standardized weights, measures, drainage systems, and grid layouts, exhibits engineering sophistication comparable to Mesopotamian achievements, despite geographic separation and limited direct contact evidence. Early Chinese astronomical records and hydraulic engineering traditions display parallel concern with precise calendrical alignment and flood control. These convergences suggest either shared deep-time technological substrates or convergent cultural responses to similar environmental and social challenges. Alternative interpretive frameworks, particularly those popularized in the late 20th and early 21st centuries, propose more radical readings. Certain researchers argue that Sumerian and Akkadian texts describe literal extraterrestrial intervention, advanced beings arriving from a distant orbital body, engineering human biology for labor purposes, and eventually departing after establishing self-sustaining civilizations. Proponents point to textual descriptions of extended lifespans, sudden technological clusters, anomalous metallurgical capabilities, and cross-cultural flood deluge reset motifs as supporting evidence. Critics of such views emphasize several issues. Linguistic analysis reveals that terms traditionally rendered as "those who from heaven came" derive from standard Sumerian vocabulary for princely or noble offspring, rather than extraterrestrial descent. Astronomical claims involving hypothetical outer planets conflict with observable orbital mechanics and lack corroboration in Babylonian planetary theory. Genetic and archaeological data show gradual hominin evolution in Africa and subsequent dispersal, with no anomalous genetic markers suggesting external intervention. Radiocarbon dating, stratigraphy, and material culture sequences indicate developmental continuity rather than abrupt insertion of advanced knowledge. Nevertheless, these alternative readings have stimulated renewed interest in Mesopotamian sources. They encourage re-examination of textual passages long treated as purely mythological, prompting questions about how ancient scribes conceptualize superior beings, advanced technology, and catastrophic resets. Even mainstream scholarship acknowledges that Sumerian literature preserves memories of rapid cultural consolidation during the Uruk period, circa 4000 to 3100 BC, when urbanism, writing, monumental architecture, and complex administration appeared with remarkable speed. Recent archaeological work continues to refine our understanding. Excavations at sites like Tel Khayber near Ur have uncovered administrative complexes with sealed bullae and token systems predating widespread cuneiform, suggesting early bureaucratic experimentation. Discoveries in Oman of Jemdet Nasr-style ceramics indicate trade or cultural exchange linking southern Mesopotamia with distant regions during the late 4th millennium BC. Ongoing work in Iraq, despite security challenges, has brought to light additional cuneiform archives from private houses and temples, expanding our corpus of economic, legal, and literary texts. Digital humanities projects have transformed access to this material. Online corpora now make translations, and images of thousands of tablets freely available, enabling global collaboration among Assyriologists, linguists, historians, and even computer scientists applying machine learning to pattern recognition in cuneiform signs. Such tools accelerate decipherment of previously opaque administrative jargon and facilitate comparative studies across genres and periods. In popular discourse, the Anunnaki motif persists across media platforms. Documentaries, podcasts, speculative books, and online communities revisit ancient astronaut hypotheses, often blending textual citations with modern scientific concepts like genetic engineering, orbital mechanics, and catastrophe theory. While many claims stretch philological and evidentiary limits, they reflect enduring human fascination with questions of origin, guidance, and independence. From a philosophical perspective, the narrative arc. From intimate divine-human collaboration through mediated delegation to symbolic persistence and eventual mythological abstraction, mirrors broader patterns in religious and cultural evolution. Societies frequently begin with strong notions of direct supernatural involvement, gradually develop mediating institutions, priesthoods, scriptures, ritual specialists, and eventually internalize core principles as cultural axioms or ethical frameworks. Mesopotamian civilization appears to represent one of the earliest documented instances of this maturation process. The sophistication of its record-keeping, the self-awareness evident in literary reflections on kingship and divine favor, and the institutional resilience that allowed continuity through political upheavals all testify to a culture capable of absorbing and transcending its formative guidance. Contemporary reflection on this legacy invites consideration of analogous transitions in our own era. Rapid technological acceleration, institutional complexity, and growing autonomy from traditional authority structures echo ancient patterns of moving beyond direct supervision towards self-directed development. Whether viewed through archaeological, textual, mythological, or speculative lenses, the Mesopotamian experience offers a profound case study in how civilizations inherit, adapt, and eventually outgrow the frameworks that once shaped them. The enduring power of these ancient records lies precisely in their ability to provoke such reflection. Clay tablets, baked in fires millennia ago, continue to speak across time, sometimes in literal administrative detail, sometimes in mythic resonance, reminding us that the story of human emergence involves both extraordinary gifts received and the long, intricate work of making those gifts one's own. In that interplay between inheritance and invention lies perhaps the deepest continuity linking the dawn of civilization to our present moment.